Hello guys, this is Ben with another Minecraft video. In this edition of Ben Builds Incredibly Impractical Designs, my Tileable brewing stations. Yep, this is the culmination of all that I've learned from the new 1.5 snapshot. This baby is tileable, so you can have any number of them lined up next to each other. It's fully functional. It will brew fourth tier potions. I've got basically all the relevant ones that I ever want. This is in no way a practical design, as you will see. There's a lot going on that needs to be explained, which I will do over there. So this is one section of those. So this design is 10 blocks tall, 22 blocks long, and 1 block wide. It's fully tileable, so you can have any number next to each other, though unless you're brewing a lot of the same potion, you're really only going to need like 8. Each of these requires 13 hoppers, 5 droppers, 4 brewing stands, 2 sticky pistons, 6 comparators, 6 repeaters, 6 redstone dust, and 6 redstone torches. That is not including the additional redstone torches on top of this. These emeralds, but I'll get to that in a minute. 5 power rails, 1 track, 1 detector rail, 1 cart, 2 chests, and 1 cobweb. Okay, so if you're familiar with my other videos, then you'll recognize this as my regular brewing module. It works the exact same way. So I began building this back in the an earlier version of the 1.5 weekly updates, when comparators used to cause droppers and dispensers to rapidly fire. That was changed in one of the updates, so now in order to have this work, I need to use a blinker to constantly cause redstone updates so that this will fire 3 bottles instead of the one it would normally fire from being powered. So these are a late addition added, well, just like an hour ago, so that's why they're not included down there. But it's just 4 extra redstone per, 5 per brewing station, and then 10 torches for the whole thing. So this works similar to most other brewing stations. If you're familiar with my other videos, then you'll recognize this as the basic brewing module I use. Turn down the sound. Basic brewing module I use. Goes into a chest. Where things get interesting is when you start stacking things together. So for example, in order for this line to always reach this line, you have to use a basic quirk of redstone, which is that redstone only goes out so far. So if I have a source here that's doing three, say, 3 power, 3 strength of redstone, then this one will be powered 1, 2, 3. But then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3. So this causing a 3 power redstone will cause this one to jet out 1 extra, whereas these two won't, because they have to go over 1 and then up. That's just how redstone works. So we can use that to our advantage in several places. I use it down here so that this chest and this comparator will only trigger this one. Now, if you overfill this with potions, it will trigger multiple ones, which is why I use a double chest, and which is why this isn't really filled up all that much. Another place we use it is in these lines here. So this here, this has 1 stone in it. So this produces a 1 strength signal. So that 1 strength signal starts here, but it can't move over there because that would require a 2 strength. So it stays isolated to its own column. And in that way we can have redstone line down the ways without powering everything. Okay. Next up we have our clock. So I couldn't find a really good clock to use. Most clocks are not tileable. They use redstone dust and it's a mess. So instead I just made a minecart clock. So when that cart is full enough, when that chest is full enough, when this chest is empty enough, this will turn off, which will turn this torch on, which will cause this repeater to power the power rail here through this block, which will send the minecart going upwards. It will hit this pressure plate, which will turn off this torch and go through this thing, which I'll explain in a minute. And then it will go back here onto this web, and it actually takes quite a bit of time for the cart to fall through the web and back onto this plate here. It's a very good design. I haven't had a problem with it. This lever is just here to power these power rails. So the second issue is that this is only on for like a tick as the cart goes over it, so I needed a longer period of time for everything to work. So basically I want these to be turned off when this cart passes over here. So the problem is bottles take actually a surprising amount of time to unload. And so if you have a 1 tick delay or 1 tick off cycle, this will only drain 1 or 2 potions, not all 3. So I needed a way to extend that. So, using the fact that pistons take some time to retract and re-extend, I was able to make a delay long enough to allow for these potions to be drained out. So as I explained earlier, over there we needed a 1 strength signal so that this can be passed through without triggering other adjacent series. So what I did here is I just have a repeater going into a dropper, which is pointing into an item hopper. And so what happens is this dropper is powered, so this hopper is powered, and this so it's disabled. So the item will stay here and give strength to these. Now, while I was doing this, I found out that these comparators aren't actually updated when you push a block through here. So you actually need to cause a redstone update, or actually a block update next to them to actually cause them to realize they should be on. So that's that was interesting. And that's all there is to this, really. It's just uh, a very elaborate brewing station that you can put next to each other. Just a series of brewing stations, a clock, a delay, and things to cause updates. So let's see this in action. Move several potions. That turns that off, which turns this torch on. This has already gone around once. This is still powered because we took out several of these potions. You'll see when this drops and goes back up that this will see turned off, all those were fed through. Giving us more splash potions. So this isn't a very practical thing to build in your creative world, or your survival world, sorry. I like to do things like this as just a challenge. But if you do manage to build something like this in your survival world, I'd love to see it. I don't know how practical this design is in actuality. I think you could probably make it a nice series of brewing stands that are probably 1 apart. And that would be more efficient, but I'll let you decide that. So thank you for watching. I hope I've inspired you to go out and build something on your own, and I will see you next time. FYI, these blinkers cause a lot of lag, so that's another reason why you probably don't want this in your single player world. Or any world in general, actually. This wasn't an issue back when comparators caused constant block updates, but can't live in the past, I guess.